Hello, welcome to the Mindtrack.net game server. If you hear some background noise like loud TVs, it's because somebody's playing their TV loud and they won't turn it down, and I'm getting a little miffed about it. But anywho, I'm outside the Enterprise D, doing a quick update. Hiller has been working on the Enterprise D. He seemed pretty stoked about it, so let's go ahead and take a look here and see what's going on. He says he's got a lot of the machinery and stuff updated through here. I believe this is deck 36. I'll have to double check that, but my Enterprise D navigational skills are lacking these days, but I do know he said he worked on the warp core. And yeah, well, here's main engineering, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to get that gamma bright off so we can actually take a nice gander at this. Look at this. Alright, we're going to take a look around engineering. I love how he decided to change those blocks. Man, that really does make a nice look. It works really well as ambient lighting. Looks really nice through here. A little cramped, but you know, it's engineering. What can you do? Oh wait, darn it! I thought this was this would be where the corridor is. No, yeah. Wow, look at this. Of course, the ship hasn't been put back together yet. He's still working on it. Let's throw my speed down here. Yeah, check it out. He's done a lot of nice work on this warp core. See if we can go up without crashing here. Looks really nice. Very nice indeed. And it goes all the way up too. Very nicely done on the core. Very nice. But yeah, this is upper engineering. And engineering. He's in the process, it looks like, of updating all these blocks to the new turbolift style of block we've been adopting. Yeah, if we had it to do over again, I'm sure we'd make plans so that the corridor wall wasn't part of the Jeffries tube wall, or wasn't part of the elevator wall. You know, everything would be separated. But you know, hindsight's 20/20. And this project is several years old, so we're pretty lucky to have this much of the ship done. Looks like he's done quite a bit of work getting this all cleaned up through here. Replacing a lot of the machinery and getting rid of a lot of the nuisance things that were just stuck in the way. Let's take a look down through here. Oh yeah, look at that. Now you don't feel like you're just walking down this endless nightmarish corridor. You feel like you're actually walking down a corridor with purpose. I'm willing to bet that that's probably a bug. A glitch. I fixed something. Shh, don't tell him. Yeah, I do get a little bit of a lag when I'm on this build. And that's, again, it's because it's such a massive thing. It's rendering a lot of materials, a lot of light, everything. So yeah, even if on my beefy machine, if I run into problems, most assuredly other folks are as well. That looks really nice. It really does. Well lit, bright, comfortable to walk down. Ooh, looks like he updated the Jeffries tubes as well. Let's take a look at these. Oh yeah. Nice and tight. Feels like you're walking down a Jeffries tube. Very nicely done here. Let's see where this one leads, and then we'll walk our way back around to main engineering. Yeah, I can't wait till the D is rebuttoned up and a lot of the improvements that NEM's working on are completed. Because then you get a feeling. When I first started on the Enterprise D, I really wasn't impressed. I mean, I was impressed by sheer scope and scale of it, but I wasn't impressed any other way. It just had a lot of long corridors with emptiness in it. And you can't get away from that with these big builds. There's just so much space, and it takes one person just working by themselves on a project like this would take an eon to complete. And first it was Loki. He was working on it for a long time. Blue Goblin was working on it for a long time. And a lot of people before my time had put a lot of time into this ship. Now it's M's turn, and M is going. He's doing what he can, but I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't burned out yet. But when you look at stuff like this, you're looking at a lot of building and tweaking and refining and making things look good and literally hours and maybe even days if you add up all the time just to do a little section like this. Yeah. And I don't remember. I think this might have been Loki who did this, but it well could have been any number of people that were involved in it. But the sheer mental stress of doing it is. I have a hard enough time just working on the. Right now, I'm working on the Voyager without throwing my mouse through my keyboard, or my mouse through my keyboard, my mouse through my monitor at some of the stuff not lining up like it should. I can only imagine what they're going through when they went through with the Enterprise D here. Now these brown things, I can take credit for these. I was in there and I was like, man, this just doesn't look right. We need something in here to reinforce this. So the brown reinforcement superstructure is all me. But somebody came through and looks like they tweaked it and did a lot of nice work to it and fixed it all up and dolled it all up. So, but yeah, this was one of my ideas. I may not have done this, but this was one of my ideas. That's one of the first things I could do on the D that really wasn't going to piss people off. So I went through and I did all that. Just started putting bracing in everywhere. So I was like, who's putting all this bracing and stuff in here? I have an idea for this area here, which is around here. Future expansion, mid bay, etc. I've kind of a couple of ideas for this. Basically, I want to build a couple of rooms that are rounded and have them like isolation areas, so they can work in there in isolation. And as we get more and more available blocks for machines, like like now we use the brewing stand a lot and the cauldron a lot. We can use those, get more blocks like that, and we can. I keep moving my mouse really fast. I apologize. Use those to make more and more intricate machines. And I already have a nice list of machines that I have made. I'm going to compile them all together. That way, there we have like an entire suite of medical and science machines that people can grab and put in their labs and stuff. See what this sign here says. Future expansion, medbay, etc. It's kind of interesting. They have this is labeled for expansion medical. I'm willing to bet that in cases of emergencies where the ship has to rescue like a whole bunch of colonists, areas like this are already set up as a medical lab and like expanded emergency wards for the ship's medical personnel. So this whole area here, what I would do with this area is it would just be nothing but medical beds, just a shit ton of medical beds and then medical equipment for things like that. And maybe even in this area here, set up some emergency surgical suites and even more, because the ship was designed to last 50 years or longer and go on really deep space missions with families. So it was definitely going to be called on at some point, multi-purpose for evacuation of colonists and things like that. And it stands to reason that in the event of a medical where they have to respond to, say, a plague, and they have to pull people off and rescue them, or they find derelict ships or ships that have been attacked and they have to rescue crews, their medical facilities, standard-wise, are just enough to take care of the crew. But if they have to take care of, say, 2,000 to 5,000 additional people, they're going to need expansion, and that's what I think this was originally planned to be, was that expansion. So that's all I would do. I'd put walls in here to hide these turbo lifts, and I would turn this into like a big med bay here, and then this would be surgical and biological isolation rooms for cases like they're dealing with plagues. And the neat thing is this right here, it doesn't appear to be any door into this room except for the into this area here, which also leads into these escape boats. So a door would definitely have to be put in here. But yeah, in case of emergency and they can't get these people out, they can just dump them into the escape boats here. This was one of the things I worked on as well. Well, I didn't actually do any of this, but I was around when they were doing this. This is when I first started coming onto the server. And I gotta say, this is really just beautiful. Sit here and see these like this. And the sad thing is, when I go to build on the Voyager, I cannot implement something this large on the Voyager. There's just no room given the deck plans and the design of the hull. You just can't do it. It is physically impossible to do it. The best we can get is a 5x5, and that's it. But these things are awesome. I think they're 2 stories. Let's take a look inside of one. I'm kind of curious here. Yep, 2 stories. I got rooms up here. Oh, more. Oh, we fell. But yeah, 2 stories. So yeah, I remember when these were being built and designed. It was kind of cool. We're back to this. Yeah, I really like these blocks. Of course, we'll probably end up changing it at some point too, but it's up to the guys that are doing the texture packs. And M added a couple new blocks to it, so we're getting more and more blocks. We're refining what blocks are used, which ones aren't, and that's pretty nice because the Enterprise will really benefit from having additional blocks made available to it. I like how they did this little stair step down in there, nice and compact way to do it, and stair step up. This is how you use available space. A nice little lounge area down here, and you stair step up to a little lounge area up here. I did something like that on the Probert. I didn't do it anywhere near as intricate or as cool as this, but it just kind of did it because it had like room enough for it. It just seemed like it would be a good idea to do it. And here you can obviously tell that this is exactly what was intended to be done. Or it's the only way they could do it and implement it successfully on this design. So much innovation on this on this ship. I'm serious. When she's all buttoned up, it's just going to be a mind-blowing thing to come through here and look at all this beautiful work. Look at all this. I mean, come on. Look at this. I could never think of stuff like this. It does. It just looks, you can't run into stuff, but it looks like a machine, You can see where M's implemented some of the newer block designs, which is it really sets these apart. I'm so happy that some of those blocks that we suggested a while back made it into the newest pack. They've really, really improved the style of builds that we were working on. And I really love this corridor design he's got going here. Just look at it. You just feel like when I'm standing here like this, even with, that's gamma bright on, gamma bright off, it's so well lit, you feel like you're standing in the corridor on the Enterprise, And these work as like fake lights, but really all the lights coming from here, but these really set it off and give it a really nice feel, And they're half slabs too, so that's why it feels a little cramped. It's because they're half slabs. That is actually a really good idea, Em. I mean, that is just very good idea. It's a nice way to hide the floor above as well. Damn. Working on the Voyager build, we might just adopt this. We have DeBomb already came up with an idea for the wall patterns and the roof, and all we'd do is we'd swap out. He has black blocks here, and we just keep them as black, but we'd use the stone blocks to the sides. But yeah, this is, even though it feels a little cramped, it's still very much sticks with the overall feel of the ship. This is just amazing. Yeah, too bad we can't get carpet blocks that you can stick to the ceiling. Call them ceiling tiles. Hint, hint, Mojang. Ooh, turbolift. Again, if they had the opportunity to think about it, they would not have had a shared wall. This would all be separated like it would be here. But what can you do? She's an old build, old style. If I was to redo it, I mean, all this stuff would be adjusted for and compensated. But I have the benefit of quite a bit of learning experience, where a lot of the guys that were working on this were pioneers. So you can't fault them. they did the best they could with what they had, and I mean, they set the standard. They were the ones that got everything going, and without their involvement, a lot of the skill and stuff that we all now take for granted, we would never have been able to adopt. And even just, I mean, latest work here with you can tell, everybody learns from everybody. And M's just hit it out of the park here. This just is very, very nicely done. I'm so excited to see this ship finally done, or at least move down the field closer to the goal line. I mean, she sat in the the 10-yard line for so long. Just kind of langured there. It just felt like it would never get moved. And finally, M picked the ball up and is running with it. So, and he's made quite a bit of distance. As well as he could. He's doing it pretty much by himself, and I think he enjoys that too. I know I enjoy building and working by myself, mainly because it allows me time to think. Although today I was working with him, and that was quite thrilling. I was learning, working with him and seeing how he processes stuff. It's pretty close to the way I do it. DeBalm was on earlier with iPanic, and they were hanging out and helping me over on the Voyager as well. That's always fun. Working with Baum and iPanic and M. Hellers, if we ever decided to pull our resources and just do one build and follow one vision, it just the sheer amount of work it could get done in one day would be astonishing. One person working in one area, one in another, so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, you look at this. I mean, that it is just a beautiful warp core. And hint, hint, I kind of saved space on the Voyager to do something very similar to this. See you, because I figured M would probably really want to put some effort into that build as well. And I am seriously throwing my hair up sometimes. Pulling my hair out sometimes with that Voyager build. It is what it is. It's just one of those builds where you work on it and you love it, and then you hate it, and you love it, and you hate it. Ooh, let's go check this out. I'm kind of curious about this. Check it out. Oh, look at this. This is just beautiful work. Although I don't understand why you would. I'm gonna go down there and then we'll needle around. I think I'm not certain, but I think this area is actually open to the above area because why would you have a separate? Why would you have a catwalk like here if it just looks down into this roof? I'm not sure. Maybe there's a plan to it. Maybe something goes here. I don't know. But I think it's actually an open arboretum or open atrium area. And it just got roofed in. But let's take a look and see what's here. I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. I think this is an open arboretum, atrium, whatever they call it. So I'll have to point that out to him and let him figure. I'm sure he'll figure it out when he's putting it all back together and comes moseying on down here and sees that. He goes, "Oh, sweet Jesus, Mother of Mary." But yeah, it is. Nice little area here. Got little plants and trees. Nice homey feel to it. I like this block. I always have. First, I never really liked it, but then I saw how they were using it, and I was like, yeah, that looks really nice. It's got a nice, crisp feel to it. It says here I can cause a cascade system warp core breach if I just press the explode button. Fortunately, I can't get to the explode button. Can't reach it. Oh well. I'll leave it for somebody else. Deanna! It's always fun to see if you can find your way from here to the bridge. Dun, 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 dun. How would we do it? Well, let's see. Let's go straight up. See how far up we can go before we have to use one of the lateral elevators. Bam! Ouch! I hit my head. Okay, well, we've gone as far as we can that way, so let's go this way. Ugh. Alright, oh, we can go back up again. Let us go up. You're actually going back in time, just so you know this. You're looking at ancient history now. Going through the neck area. Whoops. Some modification work on here. Bam. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's try this way and see where this takes us. That's a little tight. I would widen that out if I could. Yeah. Oh no, we're in error. Yep. But basically, we're in the wrong spot. We need to be over here. In these lifts over here. Oh well. We need to be in this lift. So I tried to get to it, but I didn't make it. I am bad me. Bad me. Yeah, you can tell when it jogs like this. That was a screw up. That was one of the plans getting a little nerfed. It's kind of interesting because I know we came up using one of these lifts. Wasn't that one? You know what? It may have well been this one. We may have shot up this lift here and I just didn't realize it. See, this is the fun part of exploration. No. See, now I don't even know how the hell I got up there originally. See that? Always, maybe it was this one. No, couldn't have been. Okay, we came up and we, no? Oh, here it is. This is the one we used. We went all the way up here. So, note to self, when you come to this point, go that way. Don't keep going straight up. Because when you go straight up, you don't have any way of getting to where you need to go from here. Yep. So, water. Ew. I hate water. Those are metal, so at some point I came through here and put metal down, so that shouldn't have had water in it. I'm not a water fan, never have been. Back in the day when this was the only way you could climb was to use water. See, why would you have water if you got a window here? It just didn't make any sense. But yeah, this is the battle bridge, and usually what I do is I find my way to the battle bridge, and then I know it's a straight shot. I hit the turbo lift, and right up to the main bridge I go. That's my little secret, anyways. That's how I do it. And again, why would there be 3 sinks and 2 metal toilets? Doesn't make any sense. Yep. But yeah, obviously, M hasn't gotten as far as renovating this area yet. I'm sure he's planning on it. Still a nice looking bridge. I mean, for the space, they did a really nice job setting it up. Got a little small ready room right here that, yeah. I mean, really nice use of space. Again, the basic chair design with the signs and stuff. And here's the, I think it's one of the reasons I wanted to separate this so we could actually spend time making all this look good. Because these are obviously escape pods. And the sad thing is if the ship is joined together, these pods are absolutely useless. The only way you could use these pods is if the ship separates. So before they do anything, if they're about ready to crash the ship, they have to separate the ship. So, and these are interlinks, as you can see. That's how the ship stays connected. I saw some pretty interesting designs for these earlier on and on free build that really set it apart. And they haven't. It looks like him hasn't implemented these yet. So, but I'm sure he's going to get to them. But these are obviously like a power couplings and ODN couplings, things like that. Nice thing about these big builds is you got to figure out all this stuff. You got to sit in here and figure it all out. But anyways, that was just a real quick tour of the Enterprise D progress. Hope you guys come on the mindtrek.net game server and tour it for yourselves. Have a nice day, and thank you for watching.